Yes, and this boy's got just about everything. Height, mass, muscularity, definition, good posing routine. He's going to be a hard man to beat. I wouldn't be at all surprised if he didn't repeat his victory of last year.
Today I'm very excited because today it's the 2013 Muscle Beast Award, and I'm receiving a Lifetime Achievement Award from Stan Lee. I'm excited because he's an icon. Before I even learned about bodybuilding or fitness, it was Stan Lee because I was very introverted. And I was always fascinated with power. And I remember reading all these Hulk comic books, a Spider-Man comic book, fantasized to be in the Hulk. And then I remember always seeing the name Stan Lee.
I'm Stan Lee, and I came here because Lou had to have an award because the man rates it, he deserves it. I could think of nobody better to give it to him than me because I'm the guy who taught him. I'm the guy, he took all my instructions for years and look at the result. He said, Stan, it has to be you to give me the award because you made me what I am today. I modeled myself after you, and I admire his taste.
Thank you. That before I even discovered bodybuilding, because the Hulk being big and muscular, I was always fascinated the way he was built, especially G versus E and the power. So over a course of time, I got involved in bodybuilding, became a world champion, then eventually I got into playing the Incredible Hulk. And the beauty about Stan, he's still alive today, he's going to be 91. And he's got more energy than you and I put together.
When I first met this guy as the Hulk, it was indescribable. He was born to be the Hulk. Nobody could have played that role better than him. And he actually acted. Another actor would have just worn the green, had the green skin and tore down a few doors and things. But Lou was the Hulk. He lived that role, and nobody has ever forgotten it.
They were shooting the pilot of the Hulk. I was training for the Mr. Olympia back in 1977. And they had another actor by the name of Richard Kiel who played George and James Bond. They realized they had a problem because one day a director came on the set with his son. And the boy said to his father, Daddy, this is not the Hulk. He doesn't have the physique like in the comics. And they realized that this Hulk wasn't believable. So I received a phone call and they said they were casting the Incredible Hulk TV series. And I said to myself, I'm playing the Hulk. Nobody's going to play the part but me. I got so excited. I didn't even sleep the night before. I remember arriving on the set. I get to see Ken Johnson, the executive producer, and Bill Bixby. And Bill, of course, my first celebrity I've really seen because, I've done many TV series before. And they mentioned about me getting into the makeup, making them move, and then showed pantomiming, some kind of acting, the emotion. The next day I was hired.
Anybody who saw that show remembers him today the way he was years ago, and that's quite an accomplishment. I'm the only guy who's forgotten him completely.
Back then, back in the 50s, being a child, I lived in Brooklyn. I had a very introverted life, and people would laugh if I had any dreams I talked about. They would kind of ridicule me. They used to call me names. They would say, you're going to amount to nothing. So because of my driven personality, but Stan had the famous saying, with greater power, you have responsibility. That's why today, for the last 8 years, I've been a deputy sheriff for the Los Angeles Sheriff Department in San Luis Obispo County, because it's about giving back. It's all about the power issue, because I built this body, because I was a Hulk my whole life, because being up, being ridiculed, being made fun of, I built this huge shield because I want to respect, admiration for a lot of people. And thanks because of Stan Lee, because the Hulk, I love the Hulk so much because he was so powerful on the beach, fighting bulldozers, rockets, and so that was my dream. And that's why how one thing led to another, because the Hulk and Stan Lee was my platform to survive. I do a lot of the Wizard Convention, and Stan Lee, of course, is at the convention. The Wizard Convention, they put on some of the best shows in the country, so I'm very excited. Sometimes I do a photo op with Stan, I sign autographs, I have these pictures Stan and I, people buy it, they buy my pictures, because you have the real life Hulk. The Hulk is the only superhero that has muscles. Everybody else has costumes like Spider-Man, the Fantastic Four. So I had to match the physique he drew and everything back then in the comics. So that's why I look the way I look, because of him, to match the muscles of the Hulk.
I thought it was because you just copied the way I am. Okay.
If I was a child, I would have given anything. Anything, go to a convention and be a celebrity like myself or Stan Lee, just make that connection, because I ain't had that. But I know people get so excited when they go to the convention, they get to see Stan and they get to see the Incredible Hulk. You got the creator and the Hulk, two hand to hand. Now, if you look at Batman, like the original Superman, you don't have that because they passed on. Like, for example, as a child, I would give anything to meet George Reeves, the original Superman. But when fans come up, I get so charged, and it's amazing. All over the world, I'm talking about millions, billions of people, they just love the Hulk, especially Stan Lee, because you see, superheroes, it's about power. Good or bad, children, kids love power. It's a great positive connection, and that's what I portray, that's what I give back today. I went from being a bodybuilding champion from the fitness world into the entertainment industry, filming the pilot of the Hulk. We reshot the entire pilot. And I remember back then, I kept saying to myself, if this show has one season, I'll be very happy. Little did I realize that it ran 5 seasons. And then being on the show was like a dream coming true, because I knew that nobody could play the Hulk better than I could, because I was the Hulk my whole life, and I know how the Hulk thinks and feels. You know, the first time I saw myself as the Hulk, I remember flipping the car. We were shooting the pilot, and I remember it was 4 o'clock in the morning, and I'm on the hill back in the Universal lot, you know, lifting this car. And I'm looking at the car window, I see my face, I see the eyes, the teeth, and the green. And I'm saying to myself, am I out of my mind? I said, what's going on here? Because I just love the character so much, but the makeup was so brutal, so tough, because they had to reapply in the makeup. But I'm looking in the window of the car, and I'm getting more pissed off because I'm so pissed off with the makeup. I just flipped that car over. And I was just praying that this pilot was going to be seen by a lot of people, go somewhere, because I invested so much time and gave up my training for the Mr. Olympia competition in '77, and it was the best thing I've ever done in my life. The director and the assistant director said that the guy coming to the set, you know, he created the Spider-Man comics named Stan Lee. I said, wow, I said, Stan Lee. I totally forgot about it, because, you know, doing the series, you forget about reading comics, because fast forward, I was like 26, 27, and I remember when he arrived on the set, he had that real unique voice. He goes, hey Lou, how you doing? He goes, you need to work out. I mean, he threw me off guard, because I didn't expect Stan to be like that.
He says he always wondered what I looked like when he finally saw me. Oh, jeez.
I know, on the set back in what, 1970s, 1978.
That when it was?
With Bill Bixby and I.
Bill Bixby, there was a great guy.
They said to me, Stan Lee's going to come down and say hello. I said, Stan Lee? I said, wow. And then I remember that I met you in person. So I was, and Bill Bixby at the same time. I was saying, now we got the complete package right here.
I'll never forget that day.
Yeah. Too bad Bill's gone, you know?
Yeah, he was great. He would have been here too if he was around.
Oh yeah, I mean, I would think anybody could play better David Banner than him.
Yeah. It was the perfect cast. You as the Hulk, he is David Banner, and me as the audience supporting you.
Yeah, exactly. But he was such a nice gentleman, and then just talking to him, I'm excited of him to be on the series, especially with me and Bill Bixby, because it's like seeing my whole life in front of me, fast forward to the Hulk TV series, especially coming from being a little child, reading these Hulk comic books, fantasizing, because I was very introverted. I had a lot of obstacles in my life, you know, dealing with the hearing situation, the speech. So Stan was my life, and it was my platform to survive, and that's why when I saw him on the TV series, it's like a dream coming true.
It's terrific what a good sport Lou Ferrigno is, because he and I were rivals, you know, for this award. And he was, well, as you can imagine, he was worried. He wasn't sure how it would turn out. But he's been real gentlemanly about it. So I want to be as equal a good sport. And I want to say, even though maybe it could have gone another way, but I'm glad that Lou won this.
Well, the award is called the Muscle Beach Lifetime Award. Every year, a celebrity, a famous bodybuilder that's associated with fitness receives the award. In the past, we had a lot of famous bodybuilders, but it's exciting for me because bodybuilding and fitness started here. This is the mecca of bodybuilding fitness in California. That's why it's nice. Every year they give an award to the person who makes the outstanding contribution to bodybuilding fitness.
I gotta say, I have known Lou Ferrigno ever since the Hulk, which was, what was it, 1950 something? And he is one great guy. You've heard all his credits. He's an actor and this, that, and the other. But basically, he's probably the nicest guy. See, I wouldn't be that nice. If I had those kind of muscles, I would terrify you. and everybody I meet. This guy, he's a gentle giant. I don't understand why he didn't get the first award, the second award, the third award, why it took all this
I
time.
waited for your availability because I want to save the best for last.
Very good. So I can't understand it because he was born to be a bully, and he's not. He's friends with me. If I were him, I wouldn't even talk to me. But I tell you, he is a great guy. And I am so incredibly proud to give this award, which I don't see here. I don't know where the hell the award is, but I understand. Oh, there it is. Okay.
Today is great because as a child, I never dreamed that I would be on Muscle Beach. It was the mecca of bodybuilding that as a child be honored by Stan Lee, especially receive the Lifetime Achievement Award.
I am incredibly proud to give this award to a guy who not only deserves it because, well, just look at him, you can see he deserves it, but because he's but he's also one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet, and I am so proud to call Lou Ferrigno my good friend.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right.
And to me, it's a big honor because I've received awards before in the past, but especially today because it's something that'll be remembered because Stan won't be with us forever. But I'm going to really cherish and really be excited to be on stage in front of like thousands of people, and especially on the beach, you know, especially Muscle Beach when I trained years ago with a famous bodybuilder. And here we are, we have Stan Lee on stage with me and giving me the award. I couldn't imagine what he's going to say because he got a great sense of humor. Thank you, everyone. You know, I'm very honored to be received this award from Stan because before, when I was young, I was a puny weakling one time. I got Stan kicked in my face. The reason why I wanted Stan to give me this award is because this is before I discovered bodybuilding, before I discovered fitness. I used to fantasize because I had a lot of obstacles to overcome. I was fantasized connected with power. I discovered the Hulk reading comic books because it was my way to survive. That's how I learned about Stan Lee. He made my life as the Hulk, and that's why following that, bodybuilding fitness. But I'm honored more than anything to receive the award for him today because he's still here with that. I played the Incredible Hulk. I'm still involved with the Hulk. Followed like the legacy for 40 years, doing the voiceover in the movies, being the new Hulk CGI movies, also the repeating of the TV series that affected many, many generations. I'm excited to announce two things. I have a global business called FerrignoFit.com, teaching you how to become your own personal trainer, get in shape, customize meal plan, everything. It's breaking all records. And the biggest surprise of all, in 2014 in Santa Barbara, I'm having for the first time my son, my family, and my partners, the Ferrigno Legacy is the Bodybuilder Fitness Classic Championship. I love you, all you people to compete because it's about time giving back to bodybuilding fitness. And I'm so honored to receive this award today. Thank you so much for coming. I love every one of you. Thanks for my family too. In my life, I had a lot of negativity. And all you can do in life is minimize your fears. And everybody's afraid to take that step over that fine line to be positive. Like, for example, you deal with people losing weight. They're afraid of that success. It's a failure mechanism we have inside our body. We're afraid to take that step. I've taken all those steps. I've got that knocked down many times. That's why when I look at Stan, Stan's been knocked down many times. You can, you can, you can't. And he got up. For example, he was in the service, he created comic book heroes, and back then they didn't have any major publicity for television on him, idolizing him. I give speeches all over the world talking about how you can feel better about yourself, how you can motivate yourself, how to be very successful, because it's huge, it's the fear factor. I like to change from fear, to a positive, because a lot of us, we don't have that ability to get a pat on our back saying you can do it, you can succeed, because a lot of us have the fear factor. So I basically educate people knowing that you can do it, you take action, you can be positive. If I can do it, you can do the same thing. They walk away with hope and motivation. Now we're going to take our shirt off.
You should have seen him before I trained him, though.
Life is short. You don't want to sit around in a rocking chair 80 or 90 looking back and saying, I should have done this, I should have done that. It's all about taking action now. My life right now, I feel I accomplished 50%. That's why I look like Stanley like other people, 91, still affecting more people, still giving out, being more successful. I thrive on success. It makes me feel good. I love working. I love feeling good about myself. That's why I like you people, especially out there, you know, the sky's the limit. It's all about being passionate. Being passionate, passion moves mountain, and it's all about being passionate what you want to do, because at a young age, reading comics, like myself, people laugh at me because, you know, why are you reading comics? Why are you reading monthly magazine? You should be studying. Of course I did study, but the fact that it was my escape. And you know something, because I believe in myself and that passion made me very happy when I am today, especially when I had to do with fitness and bodybuilding. And also go for many others who want to do the same thing. But take that first step, and I promise you won't be disappointed.